Breaking news! It's time to fire up, because things are about to get wild. If you're one of those fans who feels their heart race just thinking about football season, then welcome, you're in the right place. We may still be a few months away from kickoff, but the blue and red fire is already burning strong in our veins. Our team is locked in, our fan base is fired up, and behind the scenes, the buzz is real. Rumors are flying, decisions are being made, and big moves are on the horizon. Trust me, you'll want to be in the loop for what's coming. But before we dive into all the breaking news, do the usual ritual, smash that like button, but only if you've been riding with the Bills for over 19 years. And if you're one of the legends who cheered in the stands back in the 70s, nothing but respect. You are the heart and soul of Bills Mafia. Drop this in the comments if you're with us. Go Bills! Let's come back stronger. Alright, let's get into it. And we're starting off with a bombshell. What if I told you the Buffalo Bills are preparing to unleash one of the most intriguing and potentially game-changing starting lineups we've seen in recent years? Right out of the gate in Week 1 against the Baltimore Ravens, it's not just about Josh Allen being back or James Cook remaining a key piece of the offense. No, this is bigger. The Bills are mixing stability with bold changes, and for those of you still wondering what direction this team is headed in after a season full of tough losses and even tougher decisions, buckle up, because this depth chart is going to make you feel a whole lot of things. Let's break it all down, right here, right now. Josh Allen is, of course, your Week 1 starter at quarterback. That's not breaking news, but what matters is why his presence this year feels more significant than ever. He's coming off his first MVP campaign. Yes, Josh Allen is officially the league's most valuable player, and now the stakes are raised. There's no more maybe this is the year. The time is now. Allen isn't just playing for stats anymore. He's playing for legacy, for a Super Bowl, for that one missing piece in Buffalo's trophy case. And with an overhauled supporting cast, this season will test his leadership more than ever. Behind him in the backfield, you'll see James Cook returning, and despite some murmurs around his contract situation, he's expected to stay in Buffalo with a new deal likely on the horizon. Cook has grown into a versatile threat, strong enough to be the featured back, fast enough to burn secondaries, and now experienced enough to carry a heavier load as a leader in this offense. Now, tight end? That position might be the most quietly explosive one on the roster. Dawson Knox holds that starting spot, but his synergy with Dalton Kincaid, who's emerging as part of a dangerous 1-2 combo, means the Bills will have tight end sets that could redefine how defenses prepare for Buffalo. Knox has matured into a reliable target, and his blocking has improved year over year. In an offense that's ready to pound the run and pick its spots with surgical strikes, having Knox as a dependable cog is a quiet win for this unit. At wide receiver, there's an undeniable shift. Stefon Diggs is gone, and in his place, Keon Coleman at the left wideout position. Coleman brings size, strength, and an underrated football IQ. He's not just a slot filler, he's becoming a foundational piece. Joshua Palmer, formerly of the Chargers, slides into the right receiver spot. A veteran presence who's been criminally underrated, Palmer is a smooth route runner with dependable hands and experience facing top corners. Then, there's Khalil Shakir in the slot. He flashed brilliance last season, showing off impressive speed and a knack for finding soft zones. His breakout campaign wasn't a fluke. Shakir is here to stay. But what makes this all even more fascinating is the philosophy behind it. General Manager Brandon Beane has been vocal about this team taking a Tom Brady approach. That means fewer big investments in skill positions and more faith in Josh Allen to elevate the group. That's a bold bet, and one that could either fuel a Super Bowl run or backfire spectacularly. Either way, it's a must-watch experiment. The offensive line will have its work cut out. Protecting Josh Allen and opening lanes for Cook will define this team's success, and they've got the personnel to do it. At left tackle, it's Dion Dawkins, as steady as ever. David Edwards holds down the left guard spot with consistency. At center, Connor McGovern, yes, that Connor McGovern, is anchoring things. One of the most consistent centers in the game today. Osiris Torrance, a former Florida Gator, continues to develop and will start at right guard. Spencer Brown finishes the line at right tackle. The mission here is clear. Protect Allen and power the ground game. This group, while not flashy, has the tools to dominate trenches. But if you thought the offense was interesting, the defense might be even more eyebrow-raising. Greg Rousseau returns on the edge, a towering, athletic force who's finally coming into his own. He'll be joined by Daquan Jones at nose tackle and Ed Oliver at defensive tackle. Oliver, once hyped as a potential #1 overall pick, hasn't quite hit those heights but remains a very solid starter. Still, fans are watching. This could be his make or break year. The name that grabs headlines, though? Joey Bosa. Yes, Joey Bosa now wears Bills colors and, while dealing with some injury concerns, is expected to suit up for week 1. Imagine the pass rush when he's lined up opposite Rousseau. Quarterbacks are going to have nightmares. Linebackers? Matt Milano is back at weak side, and he's as dependable as they come. Terrell Bernard will wear the green and take command in the middle. These two won't just be tacklers, they'll be the communicators, the anchors, the tone setters. Nickelback is held down by Taron Johnson, a versatile and essential piece in this modern NFL defense. Now here's where the plot thickens. Cornerback. Christian Benford starts at left corner, but it's the right cornerback that has the Bills community buzzing. Rookie Maxwell Hairston, the team's first-round pick out of Kentucky, is penciled in despite recent controversy. Yes, Hairston is facing serious legal allegations involving sexual assault. It's a situation that has fans, analysts, and league officials watching closely. The NFL is taking a more patient approach this time around, letting the legal process play out instead of issuing swift suspensions. That means Hairston is likely to start week 1, but the cloud over his situation casts a long shadow. This story is far from over, and how it unfolds could impact not just the Bills, but league policy moving forward. At safety, it's Cole Bishop at strong safety, solid, smart, consistent, and next to him, Taylor Rapp, who despite some trade rumors, appears set to stay put. He brings experience and toughness, and his versatility could be critical as this defensive backfield tries to rebound from a rough 2024 campaign. Let's not forget about special teams either. Tyler Bass remains the kicker, still reliable under pressure. Brad Robbins takes over punting duties, and long snapper Reed Ferguson, no, not Turd Ferguson, though someone made that joke, returns once again. Kick returning? Look for Laviska Shenault Jr., brought in from Seattle. While he won't be a major receiving threat, he'll add a spark in special teams. He'll share duties with Brandon Currington, who will also handle punt returns under the NFL's two-returner format. So there you have it. This is the lineup the Bills are betting on. Veterans, rookies, MVPs, controversy, it's all here. From Josh Allen's historic season to Maxwell Hairston's uncertain status, this team isn't just competing for wins. It's under the microscope, under pressure, and under immense expectations. Now it's your turn, Bills Mafia. What do you think of this starting lineup? Is this the group that finally gets us over the hump? Can Josh Allen and this new-look offense carry the load? Will this defense tighten up when it matters most? And what's your take on the Maxwell Hairston situation? Should the Bills be starting him week 1? Let's keep this conversation rolling, Bills Mafia, because what's brewing in Buffalo isn't just about talent. It's about timing, risk, and a front office betting big on a very specific formula. And we need to take a deeper dive into why this roster was built the way it was, what it says about the team's long-term vision, and which positions could swing the Bills' season one way or the other. You've seen the names. Now let's connect the dots. Because every player on that starting 11, on both sides of the ball, has a storyline that leads back to one central question. Is this the Bills' year? Start with the receivers. Keon Coleman, Joshua Palmer, and Khalil Shakir might not scare anyone on name recognition alone, but what they represent is very telling. Brandon Beane is taking calculated risks here. Coleman brings a new level of physicality and catch radius, but he's improving at the NFL level. Palmer, a great route runner and quietly productive in LA.